When they speak, the children shiver. But the children get so used to their mothers that even when at times you are talking, they will just be doing you like they are friends, touching you, mommy, mommy. That is it. So when you are in this state, if you have challenge with instituting the children, though God is our helper, number one, you commit the children into the hands of God. Father, I commit these children into your hands. Take over their hearts, take over their lives, guide their steps, you understand? So that as you are teaching them, they will be able to follow the footsteps of God. And also, you can also try as much as possible to send them out during holidays. You can send them to maybe your brother that you can trust. Send them to your sister. Let them have, this kind of a family setting where a man or a woman will be there to give others. And when they go out once in a while and come back, they will be able to know that, what my mommy is saying, what my mommy has been telling me is the truth. They will be able to see beyond you as a single parent. Because at times, when you are telling them, they believe you are wicked. They believe, you are too harsh. You don't love them. But you can also try as much as possible to send them out once in a while to extended family and to people that can be trusted. So, as a widow or widow, you can also remarry. So you must ensure that in the maybe pursuit of a married partner, you are not making a big mistake. I know most widowers, especially women, some of them prefer to stay single. Why? Because of their kids. Because they don't want anybody to maltreat their kids. So please, if you are a widow or widow, consider remarrying. But ensure that the person you are going to marry accepts you and your children. Let's go to the married life issue and challenges now. We have so many. And marriage has so many wonderful benefits. We all know. But even despite the wonderful benefits, there are still challenges in marriage. And I listed out some. We may not be able to touch everything. And number one, I'm picking from here, is inability to have children on time. Some people have been married for 15 years, for 20 years. They are still waiting on the Lord. That is one of the challenges, one of the issues that can be faced in marriage. But does it mean God has forgotten about you? No, God has not. Why? Because He promised in Deuteronomy 7's birthday of February 5th, we went to National Hospital to see them on the naming day. And I was like, how can this slender woman carry 6 in her body? I know the senior mom is there from Goshen. Then the district pastor's wife from Gagwalada were all there discussing. And they said that one of them not said it's IVF. So I said, I have been wondering that how will. So please, if you have been waiting, IVF is not a sin. No. Even adoption is not a sin. People stigmatize it. People believe, if you adopt, it's not your real child. What of if you die without having anyone to call your own? Praise the Lord. So this is a kind of teaching preachers will shy away from. But that is the truth. You can adopt. can go through IVF. They went through IVF and they have 6 at once. I've seen people that went through IVF, they have 3, they have 2. In different churches, not that they are unbelievers. We should see medicine or medical practice as a gift from God. If anybody tells you, I don't do it, it's lack of faith. If you go for IVF or adoption, it's lack of faith. It's not lack of faith. And you are not trying to help God. You know, they can tell you are trying to help God. No, you are not trying to help God. God is the one that instituted, gave us, medical practice as a gift to us. And he has given us science to make our lives better. Praise the Lord. So, think on it. If you are capable financially to do it, don't shy away from it. Don't be concerned about what people will say. Don't be concerned about the stigma attached to it. I have a friend that was married for 10 years then. She was abroad. She did all manner. She was not pregnant. When she came back to the country, she now started. She started filing for adoption. She told me. I said, good, if that is what you want for now. She said, I don't think I will wait any longer. I will adopt. And do you know, in the process of filing for this, I discovered she was pregnant. And when she told me, I told her, I said, the husband is a redeemer. I said, go to redemption camp. I said, don't you see testimonies of 50-something years, giving birth for the first time? You know what she answered me? She said, are those miracles real? And this is a kind of person that really loved God and had the understanding. And I started weeping. I said, this thing has brought my friend so low to this level. But for God to prove to her that miracles are real, while she was filing for adoption, she was pregnant. So she didn't continue with the adoption plan. She gave birth to a boy. Praise the Lord. So don't allow anybody. If you have the money, go for it. We have specialists on it. I have people, even friends, that waited for 15 years and they did IVF, had twins, and the children were okay, complete. So why waiting further if you know you can afford it? God's promises are true, but it will come true in one way or the other. Another one is, let me jump some. Praise the Lord. Okay, communication issues. I'll just run through it. That's another challenge. Most families break apart. Most marriages might think, my marriage is not as good as that of Mr. A. Do you know that Mr. A has sacrifices? If you are not ready to make sacrifices, there may be issues. So you have to have effective communication in your marriage. Most people now, what they do is that instead of listening to each other, they are defensive. They are there to pick quarrels. No. There is no way a marriage will not have issues if the only thing we want to do is to defend ourselves. Before I speak talking as my husband, you have picked it up. Why will you say that without even allowing me to land? Praise the Lord. So we must, if you don't want issue, we must give listening ears to each other. Give a listening ear to your partner. Always ensure you are ready to listen to him, ready to reach a consensus with him. Praise the Lord. There may be conflicts, but if there is a good communication, the conflicts will be, overcome. But if there is no good communication, it can lead to a disaster. All the divorce we are talking about today, even domestic violence, they are the points in my note. Where do they start from? What's the root? The root is from communication issues. The home or the marriage does not break in a day. It breaks gradually. So that is why we must be conscious. Genesis 2:24-25 says, and the man shall leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave. How possible is it for a man to cleave without communication? Is it possible to know me well without communicating with me, even if we live under the same roof? No. And you see, some partners, they live as strangers to themselves. They don't know each other. A third party will come and tell you this is who your wife is, and you will be wondering, I've never seen that side of my wife. And you are living together. Praise the Lord. So when the communication skill is effective in the family, then all the issues of divorce and marriage will be minimized. Pay attention to each other and also stop being defensive. When we go to the importance of counseling, I'm going to bring out more points that, we will buttress all these points. Another issue in marriage is domestic violence. What is domestic violence? We only believe, or we mostly believe, it is only the woman that can be violent. It's a lie. Some men also undergo abuse. Some men do. They may not be able to speak out. When a man carry pistol to break the husband's head, what do we call that? I believe none of our women here are like that. Praise the Lord. So domestic violence occurs when you project your emotions. We all have emotions. But we all know, some know how to handle it, some don't know how to handle it. Some, when they are angry, you see them, their emotion is at the outburst. And when that happens, you will see they turn the wife to punching back. Today, boss, tomorrow, bass. And before you know it, it could lead to something else. That's why, in the case of domestic violence, if you know you are not safe, because one of the points we have to talk on in these issues, in these challenges, what do I do? When you know that you are not safe, because marriage is supposed to be in a safety environment. When you know you are no longer safe, please speak out. We will know who to speak to later as we go on.